So since we're talking about the files, let's have a look at the categories, which is also a link just below the files. And here, as the name suggests, you would create categories for your albums. So basically sort categories alphabetically instead of a custom or sort order, yes or no. So if you select no, the categories will be actually sorted alphabetically. Now the user galleries, we do not have any user galleries at the moment once again, and basically if you have user galleries they will be listed here and the operations here, and then you have the option to move to different category. So this last option here, this last section of this page is actually to update or create a category. Since we do not have any categories at the moment, the only thing we can actually do is create rather than the update. Okay, if you wanted to update, you would select a category here, the parent category here, you would select the allowed groups, and then you will actually, you know, change some description or the category or whatnot. So what I'll do now is I'm going to create a category for my gallery, and just let's call this category title. I'll give it a title, my photographs or my pictures. And in the description, I'm just going to write that this is a category where all of my pictures are going to be stored. Okay, so once I've done that, I'll hit on the update create category, and now we should actually have our very first category, and there it is, my pictures. So as I said, we have this list here, and as many different categories you have, the list will actually grow and grow. Operations, so basically I can move this up or I can move it down. And when you have more galleries, you actually see what that means, because if I had, all right, let's make another gallery, let's make another category here. Let's call it test, for example, just to make it simpler, and update create a category. Now you can see that my test category is just below my pictures, but if I wanted to, I can move it up like that, and now my test gallery, my tests category is above my pictures gallery. And of course I can move my pictures gallery by pressing this button all the way to the top, and there it is, just there, my pictures. Okay, the other options there is actually to move it down by one, so this is moving it down just one, this is moving it all the way to the bottom. There's the delete button, and there's also the edit button here as well. Now move into is actually you're making, for example, let's say this test, I'll move it into my pictures, and what that means is that now test, my category test, is a subcategory of my pictures category. Okay, so basically this is how you would play around with categories, and we can delete, I'll delete this one first, and basically you will see how to assign different users and how to actually manage different categories once we actually have a couple of more categories and we actually have files and user groups and everything else. So just for now, remember to create galleries, you would actually follow this link here, files, and you would come to categories. Alright, if we look at the albums now, the story is pretty much the same. Basically we have a list of all different albums here. This is the album manager. At the moment I do not have any albums, so basically let's go and let's hit on add new album. It will give you a text box like this where you would actually type in the name of your gallery, of your album. So what I'll do is, let's say new album, for example, and I'll hit on the OK button. Straight ahead you can see that I have a new album, so new album, and I can click on edit, and this will actually give me just this information here, which I can change, basically just changing the name of the album. However, if you hit on the album properties, it will give me all sorts of different properties which I can change. So basically, starting right at the top, we have the related tasks. So we have the edit files, parent category, and thumbnail view. We have the availability to choose the album here, so once again I only have one album, new album, and that's this one here. And then we have some general settings where we can change the actual title of the album, the category. So this is what we created just before, and if I look down here, I'll find my pictures. This is the gallery that I have created before, and I can write in some description here. Then I come to the actual album keywords, so I can write some keywords here if I wanted to. Album thumbnails, album is empty, so basically we would need to have some files in the album itself in order for the thumbnails to be created and shown. Permissions for this album can be previewed by pretty much everybody, and then we have the password protect this album. So if we select this checkbox here, it will ask us to actually enter a new password here, and basically this is just to ensure that people who do not know the password are not actually allowed to go and view the files. Alright, I do not want that. So this is basically creating a private album, if you would like, which is only going to be available to people who actually know the password. Then we have visitors can upload files, yes or no. Visitors can comment the post, so they can put some comments on your post, yes or no. Visitors can rate files, yes or no. So once you're happy with that, you will hit on the update album. Down below you'll find the album properties when it comes to the reset. So basically we can reset how many times this particular album has been viewed. We can reset the votes, the comments, and the files, and we actually have the checkboxes here to actually select which one of those we would like to use, which one we would like to reset, or we can reset all 4 of them as I have shown here, or just by, you know, for example, I wanted to only reset the votes, or maybe I just wanted to reset how many times this particular file has been viewed. Once I'm done with that, I would actually hit on I'm sure first of all, and then submit the changes. Okay, so basically this is all about the album, how you go about creating a new album, and basically how you would set the settings. Okay, so let's recap quickly. We have created a category, we have created an album, and we put our album in our category. Obviously the next thing would actually be to insert some files. And the third option here is sort my pictures. If you click on sort my pictures, you would select the album. So let's go with new album, and if I had some pictures here, there would be images here, they would be displayed, and then I can actually sort those, and we'll see how to do that a bit later. And then we have batch add files. When you have some, you know, a couple of files you would like to actually add, rather than actually one by one, you will actually add a batch of file. And the admin tools we have just seen at the beginning of this video tutorial. So basically this is pretty much all the available options under the files, and make sure that you do come here straight after the config. So you'll go into the config first, then you come to files and go and set up the admin tools. After that you can either start by uploading or creating the categories, and then creating the albums, and then you would actually upload the files, and we'll see how to do that in one of the future video tutorials.